Welcome. This is Introduction to Computers, CS115. My name is Carrie Locke, and we are continuing with Chapter 4, Programs and Applications Using Software at Work, School and Home. This is the third video in this lecture series, and we have the beautiful music from my clock again in the background. I seem to time this very well every time. Again, I am floating over a lake at sunset, this beautiful sunset, and we have Joe here with us. He's joining us for this lecture series. So this should be the final video in this lecture series. I may have one more after this, which just goes over the homework assignments. We'll see how long this video takes. Okie doke, let's go ahead and jump in. So, an overview of what we're going to be covering. This is week 6. So for our housekeeping, we're going to be going over personal interest applications. There's quite a few of those. We're going to be looking at some of the applications and some of the things that you can do with those. Communications applications, security tools, file and disk management tools. Then we'll have the chapter summary, and then we'll review the projects for this week. For housekeeping. So again, the content will be up at the beginning of the week, should be up no later than Monday, Tuesday morning. The quizzes and the tests will be on Fridays. Now, I have put a survey up for everybody to take. Please complete that by Thursday. And that'll give us a good idea of the best time for the entire class. I've put it from 7 to 7 on Friday and then 7 to 7 on Saturday. Please select all of the times that you're available on both of those days, and then I'll post the quizzes on the time that's best for the majority of the class. If for some reason the quiz or the test is posted at a time that you cannot make and you have a justified reason for that, contact me. We'll work it out. I don't want to see you missing a quiz or a test. So contact me prior to the quiz. Don't contact me after the quiz and say you couldn't make it. You contact me prior to the quiz or the test and let me know that you couldn't make it. We do have a test coming up, and that'll be on chapters 1, 2, and 3. I want to have that before we get to the security chapter, because there's a lot of information on chapters 1, 2, and 3. We don't want to make it too big of a test. So assignments and projects will be due at the end of the week. Again, that'll be Friday or Saturday, depending on the size of the projects. Any changes will be announced through Web Campus. That'll be so that it'll arrive in your Rebel mail. Assignments. So the quiz grades should be posted today or tomorrow. So you should see the quiz grades this week. The answers for the quiz will be posted next week, so you'll be able to see those. Everybody did really well. They were multiple choice and fill in the blanks, and I went back, and if the answer to the quiz was book and you put in the specific book for the course, I went ahead and I corrected that and I gave you credit. So I reviewed everybody's answers on all of the quiz questions, and if you answered something that was the same as the answer for the quiz, then I went ahead the same as the answer. In other words, you gave the book name instead of book, then I went ahead and I gave you credit for it. VirtualBox, the Kali Linux, everybody that actually did that assignment did really well. So basically that was, if you sent me the screenshot of your Kali Linux with your document inside, then I went ahead and I gave you credit. If you put your name and your end sheet, the last 4 of your end sheet on the same line in the document, I went ahead and I gave you credit for it anyway, because that was a pretty good assignment. Just getting it completed was what I was looking for with that one. The other thing, as far as that was concerned, a couple of people had a little bit of difficulties. They contacted me, and I helped them through it. We got through it. They got it submitted. So contact me if you're having any difficulties with these assignments. Contact me and let me know. I am very good at stepping you through any errors. And the other thing is if you're having errors on your system and you can't get this stuff to install for one reason or another, contacting me would be a good idea, because then I can see that you have errors and you can't get it installed. Most of these assignments, while they seem like they're difficult, if you follow the steps step by step, then you should be able to get them done relatively quickly. That especially goes for the 2 assignments for this week. All right, moving on. Oh, those grades will be posted. If they're not posted already, I believe I posted them. The Kelly assignment grades should be posted already. If they're not posted, they will be posted. Moving on to personal interest applications. So these are inexpensive or free applications. They're single or multi-service applications. What they mean by that is they're desktop, mobile, or web applications designed specifically for single use, or sometimes they're a single service application, or they offer multi-services within the same application. So they're broken down into the different categories for this section. Make sure that you know the different categories. This is pretty interesting and something you don't see every day. So the lifestyle category includes genealogy, location resources, news, sports scores, weather, composing music. The medical category is you can look up symptoms, health and fitness, prescriptions, track your exercise, count calories, monitor your sleep. The iPhone has a really great app. I think it's called Health. It's got a big heart on it. This is becoming popular for people to maybe enter their allergies, all of their health information in one location. It's also beneficial for companies because they can start to find out trends with health information. Symptom lookup is very popular on the internet too. I've known people that all of a sudden have all sorts of diseases because they're self-diagnosing, but it is very helpful to be able to look up your symptoms. Entertainment category includes music or radio, your photos, your videos, your TV shows, reading books and publications, fantasy sports, playing games. Convenience includes GPS mapping, remote locks and starting, so your cars that have your remote locks, or your starting your door locks, those sort of items, alarms and timers, calculating tips, and your flashlight application. Education activities, that category is your how-tos, your tutorials, your simulations, your elementary school skills, your support academics. These are very popular. You can fix your own car nowadays with these. You can fix your dryer. A lot of these how-tos and these tutorials, YouTube has anything you want to fix. You can do it. Maybe it's not always wise, but you can. So the availability is out there. Communication apps. So Gene Spafford said, "The only truly secure system is one that is powered off, cast in a block of concrete, and sealed in a lead-lined room with armed guards." So our modern-day definition of a secure system is off in a block of concrete and a lead-lined room with armed guards. Communication is sharing information. It's essential to computers today. So what started with the universities sending one word today is just it's phenomenal and essential today. It's essential to our businesses. It's essential to our personal life. This is a review of most of the terms that we've already gone over. So you've seen most of these already. Blogging, timestamped articles in reverse chronological journal format. Somebody who does blogging is called a blogger. Browsing, users access web pages on the internet via browsers. Remember the distinction between the internet and the web here. Instant messaging, real-time exchange of messages, files, audio, video, and with others online. A chat room, real-time typed conversations. Chat rooms are one-to-many, so one person can have a conversation with many people. Discussion forum, it's an online written discussion. You know about that one. We have a discussion forum every chapter. We have a discussion forum. They're generally formatted in threads so that you can reply to somebody posts a message and then you reply to that message. Those are considered threads. Discussion forums are also very popular for troubleshooting issues. So you'll see it with most of your software applications will have a discussion forum connected to them for troubleshooting issues. Email, simple mail transport protocol. Email messages, that's one of the protocols used for email. It's one of the most common protocols. Your Gmail uses SMTP. Messages and files sent over the internet. FTP file transfer protocol used for uploading and downloading files over the internet. Most people don't use FTP. They don't actually use FTP. That was the original, because FTP actually transfers your password in plain text. It is insecure. Most people use secure FTP, so secure file transfer protocol. Don't use FTP. If you use FTP, know that you are transmitting your password in plain text. It's just when you're using an application like this, you look for the S in front of it. Video conferencing. It's a meeting between two individuals, requires software, a webcam, a microphone, and a speaker. With the pandemic, everybody's using video conferencing these days. Everybody knows how to use video conferencing. I'm using video conferencing right now to create the green screen effect. I'm using Zoom with the green screen behind it. And that's where I am. That's how I'm here. Yay, hi. That's how I'm floating above. What am I floating above in this picture? I'm floating above a room. I'm floating above a room. Okay. VoIP, voice over IP, voice traffic over the IP protocol. Requires software, a high-speed internet connection, and a microphone. Very popular. Cisco VoIP phones are becoming more and more popular. You can buy VoIP for your home. A lot of people, so Cox is including it, your ISPs, your internet service providers are bundling your home telephone, your internet and your cable, or at least your internet and your phone. A lot of companies are now, they bundle all of these packages together. And when they bundle your home phone with your internet, they're using VoIP. They're using voice over IP. Web feeds. This one I don't think you have seen before. It tracks websites changes by checking feeds via a feed reader. One of the most common for this is RSS. You see this on the little tickers that run across the bottom of the screen. This is actually all over campus. We use RSS feeds. So if you see the video monitors, a lot of them have the little tickers along the bottom. They're called RSS feeds, and they pull the data. You have to have the software in order to do that, and you have to have the capability to do that. But those little tickers they're web feeds. Wireless messaging. So these are generally used for mobile messaging. They're short. They're supposed to be short. short text. They used to limit the number of characters you were allowed in a text message. They pretty much did away with that because people overran the text message limit. So short text, pictures, and video messages sent and received. Okie doke, moving on. Fun stuff. Security tools, firewall, and antivirus. Security tools that protect your PC or mobile device, personal firewalls, antivirus programs, malware removers, and internet filters. That is a preview of what we're going to be covering next. They're generally included with the operating system. They can be standalone programs that offer improvements or added functionality. So personal firewall, it's a security tool that constantly monitors all transmissions to and from a device, and it protects it and its data from unauthorized intrusions. A hardware firewall is different than a personal firewall. A hardware firewall is a specific hardware device that's intended to stop network intrusions before they attempt to affect your computer or network maliciously. So your home routers, this is where most people get confused, because your home routers actually function as a hardware firewall. In a company will have a physical device that acts as a hardware firewall. So for the company, a router and a firewall are two separate devices. And that is important. It is a very important device to have. Your hardware firewall stops all of your intrusions prior to them getting to the router, and then the router distributes the traffic. I posted a link for firewalls. Did I? I either posted a link for you for firewalls this time, or I'm going to wait until the security chapter. I think I'm going to wait till the security chapter to post a link for firewalls. Just a quick one that'll describe what they do and explain that a little bit more in depth for you. Antivirus program. It protects a device against viruses by identifying and removing any viruses found in memory, on storage, or on incoming files. On the incoming files, that's considered real-time monitoring. That is different than a typical antivirus, and it's generally a button that you have to click or a feature that has to be enabled or disabled. So keep that in mind. Real-time monitoring is different. Another thing to keep in mind here is that adding multiple antivirus programs does not necessarily help your computer. Okay, so this is one thing that I've seen a lot of people do. So they have an antivirus program, so 2 antivirus programs would be better, right? No, that's not necessarily true. Because if you have 2 antivirus programs and you have this real-time monitoring turned on, well, real-time monitoring monitors your computer every time, well, it says here incoming files, but anytime a file is changed or modified, the real-time monitoring kicks in. Well, the real-time monitoring is activated when something changes on the antivirus program. Now, the second antivirus program sees that something has changed because your first antivirus program is doing something. So now your second antivirus program is like, oh, something's happening, so I have to do something. So what happens is you basically have 2 bouncers that are competing with each other. It's not necessarily a good thing. 2 antivirus are not necessarily better than 1. And what I've seen happen is I've seen people put multiple antivirus, 2 and 3 antivirus programs on their system because they think it makes them more secure. And what it does is it basically almost disables their system. So their system is no longer running hardly at all, because the antivirus are constantly running in the background. The multiple antivirus are constantly running in the background, and they can hardly get any work done at all. So multiple antivirus are not necessarily the answer. A good antivirus program is what you want. Okay, so That's my antivirus lecture. I put a link here, so support.egr.unlv.edu, useful links. This is my website as the College of Engineering Systems Administrator. So disclaimer here, these are just some links that I have found that may be useful to you. Now, that does not mean that I am advocating that one of these are better than the other. So I'm going to switch to the different view here. I'm going to get rid of the Google Slides. Okay, I'm going to switch to the different view. That's a preview of your assignment coming up. And I'm going to show you that link. If I can type. Okay, so this is the website. This is the College of Engineering Technical Support website. And yeah, I look funny now floating above that. All right, let me maximize this so you don't have all this other stuff in the background. Okay, over here on the side are all the different links. Now, if you click on useful links, you'll see right here. So the university uses Sophos as their antivirus. Here you have Sophos antivirus. This is a home edition. So you could get Sophos home edition for free. You don't have to pay anything. So Sophos home right here is available for free. You can download it. You can install it on your home computer for nothing. Okay, and that'll match the antivirus that the university is using. Here's another one, Virus Total. There's another free antivirus that's available to you. Now, when you're choosing these, you have to look for Virus Total is not an antivirus program. What Virus Total is Virus Total will scan an individual file. So say you think that a single file is infected, you can actually upload that file to Virus Total, and Virus Total will use multiple, let me see if I can find a file so I can show you. So let's just pick, that's a shortcut. That's cascading. Let me just pick this one. It's just a style sheet. So what it'll do, what it's doing here is it's checking that file against all of these different antiviruses to see if any of these antiviruses know if this is an infected file. So say you get a file from a friend and you're like, I don't know if I want to open that. You can actually upload that file here to Virus Total, and Virus Total will check it and see if it's a known virus. It doesn't necessarily know for sure if it's a virus, but if it is a virus for sure, then it will tell you. If it doesn't know if it's let me explain this. If it is a virus, then it will tell you. If it doesn't know if it's a virus, then it won't be able to tell you. Okay? I hope you understand that. I hope I explained that well. So it could be a virus that it doesn't know about. But the nice thing is like I said, it checks it against all of these different antivirus programs. So it's a pretty good guess there that if it comes up clean there, it's not a virus. It's a nice way to check an individual file. So here's another one. Here's Clam antivirus. It's popular with Linux. Okay, here we go. Let's see this one. We have Bitdefender. We have Malwarebytes, which I'm going to ask you to do an assignment with. Avast, Panda. Like I said, I'm not endorsing any of these. I just provided links for you guys. If you need an antivirus on your home computer, please look at these links or search the internet and find one yourself. Just be careful if you're searching the internet for an antivirus, because you can install a virus looking for an antivirus. So if you're going to install a free antivirus, then make sure that it is a reputable antivirus. Kaspersky is one that's not listed here. It's another reputable antivirus. Okay, so that is my antivirus. There was something else I wanted to say about antivirus. Don't run too If you're going to get a free one, download. Oh, I know. If you are on the internet and you do not have an antivirus program, you are likely, I think the statistic is, at least last time I checked, the statistic was you will get a virus within about 10 minutes. So if you are browsing the internet on a computer and you do not have an antivirus installed, you are likely to get a virus within about 10 minutes. So make sure that you have an antivirus program installed. Make sure you have a reputable antivirus program installed on your computer. The other thing is antivirus cannot protect you from all viruses. It just can't. We might go into that more in the security section. All right, let's go back to the slides. Apparently I need to log into the university and update my license, my office license. All right. Okay, black screen. Okay, here we go. Moving on. Spyware and adware. Spyware, a program placed on a device without the user's knowledge that secretly collects information about the user and communicates it to an outside source while the user is online. So spyware works, you need to be online for spyware to work because it can't communicate back to the outside source if you're not online. But we're always online, so, or at least it'll collect it and then wait until you're online and then send it back to the outside source as soon as you go back online. So it can collect it, hold it, and then once you go back online, then it'll distribute it to the outside source. Vendors and employers use spyware to collect information about programs, usage, and employees. Internet advertising firms often collect information about users' web browsing habits. If you install a new program through a graphic on a web page or in an email message or through malware. Okay, so vendors and employers use spyware to collect information about program usage or employees. There was a legislation called the CAN-SPAM Act, and that was the legislation that stated that in email messages, they had to include an opt-out button. So if they were distributing bulk email messages, they had to, and I don't know if you guys remember this, they had to include a link on the bottom that said that if you clicked on this link that you could opt out of them distributing that email to you. That was included in the CAN-SPAM Act. But what was also included in the CAN-SPAM Act is that if you purchased a software program, that they could scan your hard drive and check your hard drive to see if you had any programs installed that you weren't supposed to have installed. They could also install things like your printer constantly contacts back to the vendor and supplies information back to the vendor. So the CAN-SPAM Act did a couple of things there. I did an entire thesis on this, and it was amazing the legislation that they allowed. At one time, Sony created such a scanning program that they had to recall an entire laptop series because the scanning that they were doing to check and see if you had any illegal Sony products on your computer actually seized up the laptop, and the laptop failed to work. So they had to recall an entire, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to laugh. You're not supposed to laugh at this stuff. But they had to recall an entire series of laptops. And I'm grateful that I wasn't one of the purchasers of that laptop because I would have been extraordinarily frustrated. But they were so worried about illegally downloaded software on their systems that the computer failed to work. Internet advertising firms collect information about users' browsing habits. Google is notoriously known. People have constantly complained about Google and the information that Google collects. Not necessarily personal information, just browsing habits. That goes back to that filter bubble that we talked about. That links back to that. If you install a new program through a graphic on a web page or in an email message. You can install malware. If you're on a web page and they have a graphic that's an advertising graphic, that graphic can install malware in the background. Your email message can install spyware. An email message can install spyware. Malware can install spyware. So that's what they're saying there. All right, moving on. Adware. So adware is a program that displays an online ad, which we just mentioned. It could be a graphic. Adware is a program that displays online ad in a banner or a pop-up window on web pages, email message, or other internet services. Internet advertising firms may hide spyware in adware. So I just mentioned that in the other one. I mentioned this before. Pop-up windows, banner windows, do not click on the window. Do not, if the window says, yes or no, the yes and the no are probably both yes. So you can code a window to do anything you want to. You can program it to do anything you want to. So you can program the yes to say yes, and you can program the no to say yes. So do not click in a pop-up window. Use the start bar at the bottom to close it. Don't click on a pop-up window. It's not a good idea. In an email message, do not click in an email message. If you have an unsolicited email message, delete that email message. You can right-click and delete it. You can use the menu bar at the top to delete it. I wouldn't even right-click. Go to the actual delete button and delete it. Cookies. This is the one for sure that I gave you. It's a quick information about to watch the video. Watch the video about cookies. Cookies are very important. It's something that affects you every single day, many times a day. It's a small text file that a web server stores on your computer. Typically contains data about you, your user. It can include your username, your viewing preferences, your shopping cart contents. That's just a minimal amount of what your cookie can contain. It's not malware. It's used to track your web movements, your history, your shopping cart, usernames and passwords, as I just said. Excuse me. Cookies are how the internet works. It's how the internet, without cookies, even now they force them to make you accept or deny cookies, and it'll say this site uses cookies, you must accept in order to use the site. So even if you try to turn cookies off in your browser, you basically can't do anything on the internet without accepting their cookie agreement. So basically, it's if you want to use this web page, then you have to accept that we use cookies. So you'll get the pop-ups constantly, but if you want to do anything, you have to accept the cookies. Cookies also transfer information from page to page. So if I'm on Facebook and I go to an eBay page, that information from Facebook to eBay is tracked, so that eBay knows how many users came from Facebook. So from one site to another, that information is tracked in a cookie. Cookies are how the internet keeps track of what's happening and what users are doing. Watch the little information that I put on it. It's much more entertaining than the way that I said it. Okay, security tools, internet filters. Filters are programs that remove or block certain items from being displayed. Let me get through this page, and then I'm going to show you a couple of quick items. What are we at? We're at 33 minutes. Let me keep going, because you guys can stop the video if you want to. If you get bored, you can stop and start. All right, security tools, internet filters. Spam. What is spam? Everybody knows what spam is, right? Everybody's heard about spam. It's unsolicited post or email messages that many recipients that are sent to many recipients or forums at one time. So basically, it is the junk mail of the internet. Um, they're generally used for selling products or services, promoting business opportunities, or oftentimes advertising offensive material. They may contain links or attachments that contain malware. So, spam is often used to distribute malware. Anti-spam programs is a filtering program that attempts to remove spam before it reaches your inbox or forum. So anti-spam programs you'll generally see on your mail. So Gmail has an anti-spam program. Any mail server will have an anti-spam program, which is a separate program that is used to filter out spam. And it is a difficult balance to try to filter out your spam. So you would think it would just be two choices: either filter the spam or don't filter the spam. But it's not two choices, it's actually four choices. So there are four choices involved in spam. There is a true positive, a true negative, a false positive, and a false negative. And you have to balance all four of those choices. So let me think of an example to do a true positive. So a true positive is I am a friendly person. So that is true, and that is a positive. A true negative is I prefer not to interact with people. I'm a computer person. That is a negative, and that is true. I prefer to do things from my office. So that is a negative, and that is true. A false positive. I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. So that's a positive, and that's false. A false negative. I'm an impossible person to get along with. That's a negative, and that's false. So that gives you an example. It's a personal example, and you deal with this in your life every day, and it's true with spam also. So there are going to be email messages that come in that are okay to let go through, and there are going to be email messages. How do I explain this? There are going to be email messages. This is such a difficult thing to try to explain in regular terms. There are going to be things that the spam filter does not allow through, but is supposed to allow through. And then there are going to be things that the spam filter allows through that it is not supposed to allow through. So, okay, false negative. So a false negative is when it blocks something that it wasn't supposed to block. Say Aunt Sally sent me something and she put something in the subject line that it was like, no, that's a spam message, which happens. And Aunt Sally's message gets blocked. That's a false negative. A false positive is, I'm sorry, that's backwards. Oh my gosh, I should just delete this section and start again. That is a false positive. So that was blocked. Aunt Sally's message was blocked. It was marked as spam, and it was not allowed through. It was blocked. A false negative is when a spam message with an obscene message gets through, and it wasn't supposed to get through. That's a false negative. And then a true negative is when let's just go true positive. A true positive is when something is spam and it actually blocks it. That's actually correct. And then a true negative is, which one is a true negative? I should have reviewed this stuff before I went through the true positive, true negative. I'm gonna have to get back to you on the true negative. Okay, let's move on to web filters. I know these, but I'm put on the spot and I can't think of it right now. So I'll write these down because it's easier for me to write these down. I'll write these down and I'll add it to your supplemental information rather than trying to explain them on the spot. Because these are a lot of fun, and the true positive, the reason I put these out here, because the true positive, the true negative, the false positive, and the false negative, it's very different. My point is that it's very difficult to filter your spam. A lot of people get upset and they're like, well, why am I getting spam messages? It's because this balance is very difficult. If you set the restrictions too high, then your Aunt Sally message doesn't get through. If you set the restrictions too low, then you end up getting too much spam. And it's difficult because you have these 4 categories in which the spam gets into. And so I wanted you to see this because a lot of people are like, well, it's just spam. Why can't you just block it? It is good on your, I may show you this when we move over to the Windows machine. It's really good on your specific client to mark these, to flag these as actual spam. And then you can help on your specific email client, you can help to filter it right there at your client level. And that way your actual email client will know for you specifically which ones are spam and which ones aren't. And that helps to add another layer of protection against spam. Again, this is important. And the reason I'm spending so much time on this is really important because if you allow spam to get through, then you're increasing your chance of malware. And one of the biggest ways that malware gets through to computers is through your email. So it's important. These are important. All right. Next one is web filters. It restricts access to, I'm still thinking about that true negative because I know it. But anyway, web filters restricts access to certain material on the web. Restrict access to specific websites, filter websites that use certain words or phrases. Businesses use web filtering software to limit employees' web access, and schools and libraries and parents use this software to restrict access to websites. This is becoming very popular. Web filters, parental controls. These are getting better and better and better. When I did this for my children, it was very difficult to set these up, and it was very specific. The proxies, you'll see a lot of proxies for these, but the parental controls are getting really, really good. Okay. Internet filters too. Filters phishing, official-looking emails attempt to obtain your personal and financial information. Phishing emails are absolutely the worst of the worst. They ask you to reply with your information, direct you to a phony website or a pop-up window. They look like a legitimate website. They collect your information. These are getting better and better and better. They're no longer the prince in Nigeria that needs money. These are starting to look exactly like your bank. Never, ever, ever, ever click on an email and enter any kind of username and password. Always, if you get an email that says that you have to change your username and password, then contact your bank, contact the individual that is sending the email, contact them directly. Do not go through the email message. These will look exactly like your bank. They will copy the information from your bank, so it looks identical. They're getting better and better. So they don't look, you can still look for grammatical errors, but even so, I would never enter my banking information, my account information, any of that information via an email message. Always go, if you get an email and you believe that it may be correct, then contact the individual directly. A couple of these that are going around that I've seen is that you need to enter you need to send Bitcash because they have your password and your username to your accounts, and they've seen you. And please, if you're sensitive, then you may want to skip ahead for the next 10 seconds, but they've seen you watching pornography in some way, shape, or form, and that you need to send Bitcash, or they're gonna send it to your business or your boss or whoever they're threatening you with, and they actually have an account, and what they've done is they've hacked your social media, and they're now threatening you with exposure. And there's a couple of reactions to this, and that is that people have never done it, and they're afraid that they're going to be threatened with this, and people have done it, and they're afraid that they're going to be threatened with it, and people don't care, but they're worried that their account has been hacked. So if you get something like this, delete it, change your passwords. They don't have that information. What they do have is they have hacked one of your social media account credentials. Don't worry about those. Don't send them money. Please don't send them money. Delete it. And like I said, change your passwords. That's one that's very popular. Another one is they're sending emails from one of the individuals that you work with, and they're saying that they need money, maybe even small amounts of money, $50, $100, and they need you to send it right away through iPhone Cash. That's a popular one, or some sort of instant cash mechanism that's not traceable to an actual individual, because they delete that account quickly. But they need it right away, and they're stuck. Their car is broken, whatever. Again, contact the individual directly. Call the individual, or don't send the money, because it's not legit. These all are money. They are researching the individuals. They're researching elderly people that have large accounts, and then they're posing as their grandchildren that are in urgent situations. I've seen so many of these different phishing emails. They're, like I said, they're very, very good. Contact the individual. Contact other family members of the individual. I've seen them drain hundreds of thousands of dollars from people. Please, please, please contact the individual. If somebody contacts you urgently saying that they need money, don't respond. Okay. So that is that is the information that I have that I can share with you on those. Phishing filters, they warn or block potentially fraudulent or suspicious websites. That's if they know that a website is suspicious or they've had reports, then they block it, or they put a banner up on top. Again, this is the same delicate balance with spam filters. These can be a little bit better because they have prior reports of fraudulent behavior on these websites. But again, it's still the same balance. Pop-up ad. These are internet advertisers that suddenly appear in a new window on top of the website. We sort of covered that earlier. Pop-up blockers, they filter the program and stop pop-up ads from displaying on web pages. Browsers include a pop-up blocker. You can download pop-up blockers for free. So we're going to switch now back to my other monitor. Okay. So let me go over there. I'm trying to click on it in the video. Doesn't work that way. All right. Let me minimize this. Ready to go. Where is it? All right. So this is Chrome here. So this is Google Chrome. Excuse me. Sorry, my ear was itching. In Google Chrome, you have three little bars here, three little buttons here. And from here, you go to Settings. And from Settings, you go down here to the bottom. You go to Extensions. Okay. And then here, you can see the different extensions that I have installed: Sheets, Slides, Offline, Cisco Web Extension, and Docs. And then you click here. Where did it go? And where did I do it before? they move these every single time. So, okay. So down here, you want to open the Chrome Web Store. Okay. And then once you do that, then you have a little search bar here. Okay. So they have a bunch of them that they have recommended based upon different traffic that I've done. These are just little add-ons that you can add to your browser. Okay. You can actually sort right here. You can sort by ratings. And I'm logged in. I don't usually log in, but I am logged in. Okay. So I've searched for pop-up blockers here. And then it added the word block. So here's a list of the different pop-up blockers. So when you're doing something like this, check the ratings. Always look at the ratings. Don't install something that doesn't have a lot of ratings. So this one's ad block for YouTube. It's got 147,000, 148,000 ratings, and it's got 4 and what is that, an eighth of a star. I've never seen an eighth of a star like that. Usually it's a half. This one's video ad blocker, free ad blocker, block ads, browse safe. It's got 206, which isn't very many, but you get the point. And these are add-ons that add onto the browser, and they add little, you'll see it when I switch over to my other one. I've already installed this on my work desktop. But this is how you find it. Again, it is 3 little dots, settings, and actually you can just go here, extensions, and then extensions, open Chrome Web Store. Okay, and that'll get you all your different browser extensions. Like with anything, make sure that you're installing something that has a decent rating and has a decent number of people that have installed it. Okay. So that's the one for Chrome. And let me show you Firefox. So here we have Firefox. Make that big. I prefer Firefox. Oh, you know what? I wanted to show you one more thing in Chrome. Open my Chrome back up. So also in Chrome, it's good. Chrome does not have a setting where you can actually delete your history automatically. Okay, but where is it? Settings, more tools. Okay, so go back to your 3 buttons here. Go to more tools, and then go to clear browsing data. So remember we talked about that bubble? So here, you can clear it for the last hour, all time, okay? And if you switch over to advanced, you can clear all your passwords, any passwords you've saved, any form data, any site settings, any hosted data, okay? You can check all of those, get rid of everything. Site settings, it's good to get rid of all of this stuff and then clear all data. And it'll clear anything that's saved and you are fresh. So all of that cookie information, cookies and other site data, third-party information, clear all of this stuff. This is also where you set your privacy settings and all the other information, your cookie data, so whether or not they transfer cookies from one site to another, what information, your security information, check all of these settings. We may go into this more in the security section, but I wanted to show you on Chrome where you clear that, because Chrome does not have a setting to automatically do that. So in Firefox, okay, in Firefox, you go to the 3 lines, same location. Oh, actually my head's in the way. I wonder if my head was in the way for the other one. You go to the 3 lines here. Okay, now you're going to go to add-ons here. It's a little puzzle button. And then here, it's extensions. Okay, so find more extensions, find more add-ons, you click pop-up blocker, enter, and it'll give you a bunch of the different pop-up blockers. So here, pop-up blocker strict, and this one has 43,000 users on it, and this one has 4 stars, and it tells you the developer of it. So you can set your search criteria here. For Firefox, you have all the different pop-up blockers. I don't have it installed on this one. This machine I use just for my recording. So I don't do a lot of browsing on this one. I don't have it installed on this one. So, but I wanted to show you that in Firefox, your where's my browsing data on this one? Privacy and security. You can actually set on Firefox. You can set your cookies and site data, manage data. Let's see if you can set it here. No, it's not here. They move this stuff around on me. So okay. Address bar, no, that's not it. I'll show you in the security section where to set. I don't see it here. Technical data, that was. Search engine, browsing history. Okay, history here. So here, and that's just it's in here, the 3 buttons, my head in the way. The preferences brings you here, privacy and security. And then we want to go to history. So Firefox will remember history. Okay, here's where you clear it. And you have the same selection, everything, and then you can clear your site preferences, your offline data, and then you click OK. But for Firefox, you can actually set it to never remember your history, or you can set a custom, and then you can set it to always use. Okay, I'm not going to do that now. Always use private mode, but you can actually clear your history every time you close Firefox, and then you can click these ones. So you can set it. You can set up the special settings. Okay. So again, 3 buttons: preferences, privacy and security. Scroll down to history. Use custom history. Clear history when Firefox closes, settings, and then if you want to clear your site preferences and all of your offline data. And that'll set it to every single time you close Firefox, it'll go ahead and it'll get rid of your entire history. And again, that filter bubble that we talked about, that helps to remove that filter bubble. You will notice that you won't get targeted ads when you start Firefox. So I love that about Firefox. It's one of the reasons that I prefer Firefox over Chrome. I use warn me. I don't want to warn me. Close tabs. So I probably just closed something that I was using for the assignment. But anyway, all right, let's switch back to the slides. Let's keep going. If I can get my mouse over there. All right, Google Slides. Okay, so that covers pop-up blockers. We covered phishing. File and disk management. File and disk management, managing files, searching is for managing files, searching, viewing images, uninstalling software, cleaning up disks, defragmenting disks, setting your screensaver, compressing files, maintaining your PC, backing up your files and your disks. This stuff, your file and disk management is generally included with your operating system. I recommend that you use the tools that are included with your operating system. So learn to use those. Use your tools that are with your operating system. Those are usually your ideal tools for maintaining your PC. If you're going to use You can purchase standalone programs. They do have improvements and added functionality. If you're going to use the free programs that you can obtain on the internet, be very careful with the programs that you can obtain on the internet. A lot of those are they have the tracking programs. They can contain malware. So be very cautious if you're going to install anything that you can obtain for free on the internet. So here I have the caution when downloading from the internet, and never, ever, 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 ever use any of the maintenance tools that you can obtain from a pop-up. I have seen many people that they receive a pop-up that says, well, your PC needs to be maintained, so call this number. And no, don't call the number. Close the pop-up from the start bar. They're either trying to get your money, or and sure, they'll connect to your computer. And once you call them and grant them access to your computer, that's when you have an issue. You don't have an issue until, and I call it mobware, because it's like them coming to your business and saying, hey, you need protection. You didn't need protection until they came to your business, and you're like, no, I don't need protection. And then that night they all of a sudden your business is robbed. You don't need protection until you click on it, and then they install the program in the background. Then now you need their protection. So don't click on those messages. Never ever click on the pop-ups that say that your PC needs to be maintained. It's not true. You'll see those in browser windows. They look official. They look like actual Windows OS messages. They're not. An uninstaller is a tool that removes a program and any associated entries in the system files, and that can remove all the data files associated with that program. Try to use the uninstaller that came with the original program if you can. Generally, it will be with the program files. So if you click on the Windows OS menu, and then you say you click on ANSYS. ANSYS will have all of its associated files to start the program, and then generally it'll have an uninstaller. Or the install program will have the uninstaller associated right with it. The second choice to that is to use the operating system uninstaller. With Mac, you can just click on it and then click delete, and it'll delete the program. With Windows, you go to Programs and Applications, you start that, and it has an uninstaller. I can show you that when we switch over to Windows. Just clean up the tool searches and removes unnecessary files, downloaded program files, temporary internet files, deleted files, and unused program files. Use the operating system tool for this. Again, you can purchase programs to do this if you want to. The purchase programs are fine. Generally, they're not that expensive. Use a reputable program for this. Disk Defragmenter is a tool that reorganizes files and unused space on a device's hard drive so that the operating system can access data more quickly and programs run faster. Figure 431 in your book is a beautiful figure that shows how files get defragmented because the way that they get scattered on the disk. It's a really great figure for that. You can Google this. It'll explain how files get defragmented. You do not need to defragment an SSD drive. It's unnecessary. It's not that the files get defragmented. It's that the SSD drive is so fast that you don't need to defragment it. It's so quick in accessing those files, even if they are defragmented, even if they're fragmented, that you don't need to. And the only thing you're going to do is cause wear and tear on your SSD drive. So as of now, you do not need to defrag an SSD drive. Don't do it. It'll just cause wear and tear on your SSD drive, and it'll reduce the lifetime of your SSD drive. I can show you those on Windows too, if you like. but this video is getting kind of long and I want to show you the projects. PC maintenance identifies and fixes operating system or disk errors and improves the capability and the performance of the PC. One of the main ones under this category is backup and restore. Copy or backup files to another location. Restore does the reverse. It restores the files that you have previously backed up. Utilities for this automates this, creates schedules for copying the backup files, or restoring is generally a manual operation, and it monitors the process of the backup files. Windows has an automatic backup program. I haven't used a backup program. Mac has an automatic backup program, Time Machine. I have not used the Mac one. I have used the Windows quite often. It's a great program. It works great. So moving on. Ooh, chapter summary. Okay. For the chapter summary for this chapter, there's a lot of information in this chapter. It doesn't seem like there is, but there's a lot of information. I thought this was going to be a quick chapter. It is not. It is not a quick chapter. Know what the operating system is and understand its role with the computer, with the device, any device. Know how it interacts with the applications and the hardware. Differentiate the various productivity applications, their feature set, their use, and their different classification. Know the graphics and the media applications, again, their feature set, their use, and their classification. Be able to describe and define the personal interest applications. Again, their classifications for those. Identify and define communications software, its importance, their uses. We've gone over the communication software a couple of times now. Actually, we've gone over all of these a couple of times now. Identify the key features of the security tools, file and disk management tools. Know their purpose and how they're applied. I went over those pretty intensely in this video, so they're pretty important. Know the security tools and the file and disk management tools. Review the study guide, of course, and the terms at the end of the chapter. So now we get to the fun stuff. The assignments and projects for the week. The first one is Malwarebytes. I'm going to go through this real quick, and then I'm going to demonstrate that for you. So download and install Malwarebytes. That is the link to download Malwarebytes. Select the free download. You just do the free one in the upper right-hand corner. It depends, actually, if you have a Mac or Windows. I noticed my Windows download was a little bit different. I will show you both of those. Save Malwarebytes. For the Mac, that's the file. The file for Windows is different to your hard drive. I'll show you both of those again. Under real-time protection, turn off malware protection and app block for Mac. There are two other selections for Windows. Go ahead and turn those off to do this project. You're welcome to turn those back on after you do the project. Scan your drive for malware. It's the blue scan button in the center. Scan your system and then take a screenshot of the results. I'll demonstrate that for you. Save the screenshot, same as the last project. Save the screenshot as file type JPEG or PNG, and your last name with the last four digits of your NG number. Example is lock. I put the K in there, so I have to fix that on this. The assignment details are on Web Campus. Under the assignments, it's in the module, so check the module for the information. I will be taking off points for the details on this one. I did not on the last one, but I will be taking off details. Upload your screenshot to Web Campus for credit. Let me go over the next one, and then I will demonstrate both of these. So the LastPass assignment is basically the same as this one. Download and install LastPass. There's the link for LastPass. Create a new account, or if you have an account already, log into your existing account. But I need you to make sure that it is associated with your university email address. So if you already have an account with your UNLV email address, then go ahead and use that one. Install the LastPass browser extension, follow the prompts, and accept the defaults. This one is pretty, you just follow the prompts. If you follow the prompts, you'll be fine. If you miss it in the setup steps will automatically prompt you to add an account. But if you missed that step, if you cancel out of that step, then follow this next one. Click on the red button on the bottom left and enter a URL for the website. My example is Facebook. You can add any account that you want to add. Enter your account information in the appropriate fields. Example, your username in the username field, and they call it site. It is your website password. For me, it would be my Facebook account password. Select the security dashboard. It's on the left side menu. Take a screenshot of the entire LastPass window. That includes, it'll show you a little bit of a security detail. I'll show you that in just a second. Your screenshot must include your account email address in the top right, which should be your university email address. And then it'll show that security dashboard information. Your screenshot should be a JPEG or a PNG. And on this one, I want you to save it as your last name underscore first name and then the last four of your NSHE number. Upload that screenshot to Web Campus for credit for the assignment. Okie doke. And that is the last slide here. So I'm going to go back to the Malwarebytes assignment. And then I'm going to switch this, move my mouse over to the right window. I'm going to switch this to, where is that? Okay, so let's do, all right, let's do the, why is it showing that screen? Okay, let me get rid of that one. Okay. So let's do the Mac version first. For the Mac version, all right, let's see. That one I want? No, it is that one. All right, so that's my extensions. I showed you that. That's my settings. I showed you that. More extensions, more extensions, more extensions. This is all extensions. Okay. I wonder if I did both of these on my, no, I couldn't. Let's go here. All right. I'm going to go ahead. I've already installed this and tested this, but let's go ahead and do this again. So let's go to to be a computer scientist, you should have to type. They should force us to take a typing class before we do anything. All right, Malwarebytes, cybersecurity for home and business. It doesn't matter which one of these two I click on. Okay, so this is what I was saying on the Mac. I get a, where did it go? Personal. Free download. See, I got a free download button here. Okay, so Malwarebytes free. Malware, I don't want the premium. I want the free one. It already downloaded. So since I clicked on that free button, it already went ahead and downloaded. So I'm going to show in my Finder. And then move my Finder over. Where's my mouse? I keep losing my mouse. My Finder button. There it is. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, so on my Mac, I'm going to double click. Where'd it go? It keeps moving to the wrong window. All right. So Here's my installer for my Mac. Yep, Macs get infected, which is true. A lot of people think Macs don't need antivirus. Macs get infected with viruses too. It's just you hear about Windows more. All right, continue. I'm just selecting all the defaults for this. All right, of course, I have read the EULA, the end user license agreement already, and I agree. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and install. Now it's going to ask me for my password because I do not run as root or administrator, and I can't talk and type a password at the same time. It's one of my limitations. Okay, so on my Mac, my installation was successful. I'm going to go ahead and close. Keep that for future demonstration purposes. So you see down here on my Mac, I've got Malwarebytes. So now, going ahead and I've clicked on that. Let me close my Finder window. There's that in the background. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm going to select work computer or personal computer. So I'm going to select personal computer. All right, so now I can activate license, or I can select maybe later. Maybe I'll do all that later. So here it says enter your email address. I don't want to give them my email address. I'm just going to click on get started. Okay, so I can how to allow full disk access. So now on my Mac, I need to open my preferences. All right, it's showing me how to do this. And it's actually, since I clicked on open preferences, see the pictures here, it's showing me what I need to do. So of course I need to click, well, it's going to show me full disk access. And I click next. It shows me I need to click on that little lock on the bottom, which we already know because we've done this before. We did this on the last assignment. Enter my password to unlock it. By the way, that showed up on another, I think that showed up on another screen. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, so I went ahead and I unlocked it. And now I need to go to Malwarebytes protection. I need to allow it. Okay, so now it's allowed. Now I click on next on the instructions. Okay, we're good here. Full disk access. It can't scan my hard drive files unless I grant it access to scan my files. All right, so we'll go ahead and click on done. And now we get to the main windows. Let's put that away. So this is where I was talking about your real-time protection. And we talked about this already on an earlier slide. Real-time protection means that it's scanning it's watching my activity, or it's watching my computer's activity for changes in files. Okay, so malware protection is on. For right now, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to try to turn it off. All right, I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to application block, app block. I'm going to turn that off, and then I'm going to go ahead and scan my disks. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and complete, and while that completes, while that scans my drive, it doesn't take very long. Okay, so it's scan time and the numbers of items scanned, and then it's going to tell me about any detections. Hopefully I don't have any on this computer. While it's doing that, I'm going to switch over to my Windows. So this is my Windows here, and we're going to do the same thing. My taskbar for Mac is showing up because I'm remoted into my Windows connection. By the way, for my Windows connection, I'm using the UNLV VPN to connect. Everything's popping up in different windows. It's one thing I love about Mac, is all these different windows. So I'm using the UNLV connection, the UNLV Pulse Secure, which is a Cisco VPN. I'm using the UNLV Pulse Secure to create a VPN connection that allows me to connect to my remote desktop at work, which is a Windows machine. So now I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do this on, actually, see, I've already done this. So Oh, actually it does have it. It's still got the button. So I'm malwarebytes.com for home. Let me check the slides. I've got Malwarebytes to download. Maybe I'll change that link for you guys. Free download. And it's asking me to save the file. Okay, now it's asking me where I want to save the file, and it's downloads. I'm in a weird place. I've already done this, so I'm going to go ahead and replace the file. And here I have my progress up here. Okay, so setup is complete. Enter my password because, of course, I am not, my account is not an administrator account, and I cannot type my password and talk at the same time. And it's a different password here. Okay, so now I've got the prompt here. What is this? Why is this up in the background? It's minimized, out of the way. Okay, so this, okay, I'm on the wrong screen now. Where's my Windows? I just minimized my Windows. Too many things to work with. All right, work. Maximize. There we go. Here we are. Minimize this. Okay, so now this is my work machine, and it's asking me basically the same thing. All right, install advanced options. No, I'm just going to install. Okay, add Malwarebytes browser guard for free. Sure, why not? So this is free browser guard extension for Chrome, Firefox, and Edge. Stops annoying ads, scams, and trackers while providing a faster browsing experience. I didn't do this last time. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Uh-oh. Where is my... Yes. Okay. There it is. All right. I'm going to go ahead and install that. While that's installing, let's flip back to this one. So this is my scan report, and this is what I want. So see how it says reports today, manual. Where is it? View report. This is what I want here. No items detected today, threats. Why doesn't it show the items scanned? Items scanned, time. I'm sorry. This is what I want. I want the summary report. I want to see the time that it took. I want to see the items scanned. I don't care if you have threats. I mean, if it's detected threats and it's cleaned up your threats, then that's great. But what I want to see, and it shows up a little differently on each one, I want to see the scan time, and I want to see the item scanned. And go ahead and take a screenshot of this on my Mac. In order to take a screenshot, I hit, and I believe it's Alt because I have a different keyboard. Let me click on this. So it should Windows Shift 4. On my Mac, you see I create this little cross, and then I can highlight the entire window, and you heard the click, it automatically saved a screenshot for me. So that's on my Mac. For you on a Mac, if you have a Mac keyboard, it's the Command Shift 4 key, and it'll take the screenshot for you. So that's what I want for adware. Now let's go back to the Microsoft desktop. This add-on could not be installed because of a file system error. Okay, that's great. Well, you don't need to do that part. You can skip that part. I was just trying to do that for... did it again. Instead of minimizing the window, minimize the entire thing. So here we have the web protection. Minimize that. So for Windows, you have web protection. You need to turn that off. Turn that off. And again, for me, I have to enter the password every time. So you can't type my password and type. I can't type my password and talk. And I'm going to need to do that. I'm not sure why the video is not showing up properly. I'm going to need to type my password for each one. Oh, I turned it on. Because I've already installed this, it remembered that I wanted these off. That's why it's doing that. Okay, one more time. Okay, so for me, these are already off because I've installed it before and it actually remembered my settings. But for Windows, again, just click the scan button. We need the do 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 do. All right, let's go back. So again, this one's complete. Let me go ahead and close that. Let me switch back to here. All right, new tab. So what I want here, I'm going to minimize that. What I want here, maximize that. And let's move on to the next one. So the next one is what happened to my Google slide? I think I closed it. LastPass. So let's look at LastPass on a Mac. Either one of these. I gave you the link for it. Okay, so now LastPass is the same, whether you're on Chrome or Firefox. My head's in the way here. I'm going to disappear on you. I disappeared. Get LastPass free. So create an account. So I already have an account. I've already gone through this process. Create account. This is your master password. Don't forget your master password. A lot of these programs, if you create a master password and you lose your master password for these password keeper programs, if you lose your master password, then that's it. You're done. Don't lose your master password. I believe this program has a recovery capability for your master password, but I'm not positive. So do not lose your master password. Log in for me because I've already created an account. So for me, it is my university email. And my master password. Now, another note on this, if you've created an account and you are logging in from another device, it will pop up down here. It'll pop up with a note to you that it'll send an email to this email account, to your account email, that you have to actually verify it. So you have to go to your email account and you have to click on that email to authorize the new device. You can set this LastPass up on multiple different devices, but as I said, you have to actually authenticate that additional device. So for every different device, you'll have to go to your email account, and so watch for that little message. Oh, here it is right here. LastPass does not recognize this device, or you're at a new location. Please check your email to grant access to the new device. And then you can dismiss this. So I have to go over to my email account. Actually, I can do it on my phone. Let me just do it on my phone real quick. Okie doke. And there's just a button on the email. Nope. So I verified that on my email account, and now I just have to enter my I verify. Please review the information you entered and try again. Apparently I didn't enter my password correctly. And here we go. No, I don't want the browser to remember it. Okay, so if this was my first time doing it, it would pop up with red buttons for me to go ahead and add an account. If you've missed those, then it'll be blank here. I have a Facebook. I just went ahead and added my Facebook account. It'll be blank here, and you can click on this add button, and it'll say what type. Okay, so more items. You can add the different type of account that you want to add, or you can just add a note. You can add an address. You can add your credit card information. So I just want to add a password. Okay, so it'll ask for the URL of the account that you're trying to add. So now what kind of account do I want to add? So let me add a Gmail account. Gmail. Actually, I know that by heart. https://gmail.com. And it actually knows it. So the name is Gmail. Apparently it has a folder for email. So my username for that is carrie.lock@unlv.edu. And then my password, I would enter my password here. And then if I wanted any notes, so this would be my UNLV email. And I could name it up here if I wanted to. Instead of Gmail, I could say UNLV email. And then my site password is all right. Now, you can do other things. So you can require the master password, you can auto log in, and you can disable the auto fill for this. So it's gone ahead and it's added my UNLV email. So I can go ahead and I can launch that right from here. So if I want to launch my Facebook, I can launch it right from here. It's not auto logging in, but you can set it in, if you noticed, in the details. But what I want from you is I want you to go ahead and I want you to add an account. Let me minimize this. And I want you to take this screenshot. So I want you to add at least one account. Now you know my Facebook account name. Don't hack my Facebook, please. And I want to make sure that you have this here. But I want you to go over to your security dashboard first. So add an account, click on your security dashboard on the left-hand side, make sure that you have your UNLV email address here, and then take a screenshot of this. So on a Mac, it is I don't have a Mac keyboard, but it's a Command, Shift, and 4 will create for a Mac this little star. And then here okay, you get the idea. I clicked it a little soon, but I want to see this. So I don't really care what your score is. I just want to see that you have added an account, and I want this security dashboard. I want you to use your account information. So make sure that you have all of that there. I don't know why that's in front of me here. Okay. I hope that is clear for you. And this is going to be the same whether you're on a Windows or a Mac, because LastPass is browser-based, so that's not going to matter. So I don't need to demonstrate. I'm trying to click on the wrong window. So I don't need to demonstrate this on a Windows or a Mac. So your LastPass is complete there. Let me go back to here and show you what this looks like. It shows, so here, it shows your scan time, it shows your items scanned, and this is what I want to see here. Go ahead and take your screenshot of this. It took 2 minutes and 1 second. Go ahead and take your screenshot of this. On Windows, it's Alt Print Screen. Make sure that the window is selected. I wonder if I can do this here. Alt Print Screen. No, it won't do it for me because I'm remoted in. It's a different, Alt F1 Print Screen. Take a picture of it. And then you can open up Paint. The Paint app. I don't know if it'll work for me because I'm remoted in, and so it's a different key combination. So, Control B, right click. No, it didn't grab a hold of it for me. Anyway, I know you guys can do it because you've already done it. You can take the screenshot, but that's what I want to see. And in here, let me show you real quick. Let me exit out of this. Don't save. In here, let me show you control panel. Go down here to your search in Windows, control panel. And in your security and maintenance, where is it? I hate that this goes sideways. Network and sharing, programs and apps. Where's programs and apps? I probably could have just typed it. Oh, by the way, I switched it up here to view by, and I go small icons. And that changes it to this one, which I still can't find anything. Programs and features. Okay. And then you have all of your programs here. You can turn off and on your Windows features, and you can select a program. So if I want to go to, say, Adobe, if I click on it here, I can uninstall it from here. So you can uninstall all of your programs. Some of these programs you actually need. So some of these programs are support for other programs. So the Visual C++ may be a support for another program. So a lot of these programs are standalone programs. Just be aware that some programs are prerequisites for other programs. But anyway, this is how you would delete a program on Windows if it didn't have its own uninstall. Something else I said I was going to show you on Windows, and I don't remember now. But anyway, if I remember, I'll show you on another program. I will do the false positive, false negative. I'll make sure that I outline all of those. I've done the viruses on here. I've shown you everything. Now you know everything. You know everything that I know. I shared all of my knowledge with you. Okay, you guys have a great week. If you have any questions, if you have any problems with these, go ahead and shoot me an email, and I'll see what I can do. Contact me during office hours. You guys have a great week. I hope you have fun with these. I hope you find them useful. You can always go back to this, by the way. You can go back and you can turn on, if you don't have an antivirus program, you can turn these back on. I believe that these are only available to you through the trial program. I did offer up some other options for antivirus if you don't have antivirus available. Have fun. There are other programs on that link that I showed you from the support.egr.unlv.edu. So feel free to download any of those. Again, it's not an endorsement. It's just some things that I've found on the web that you may find useful. OIT has some other ones that they offer also. I can post that site. If you're interested, shoot me an email. I can get that link to you. Have a great week. Thanks for watching, and have fun with this stuff. Bye.